Welcome to Are You Quizzing Me? I'm Vineet Nair with my co-host Aditya Kashyap. This is a quizzing trivia podcast show where we ask each other questions and share what we know and learn with you. Though in a quizzing format, it's not competitive. The questions are simply a way of sharing our love of trivia. So sit back, relax, and join us as we explore the depths of human knowledge. Here's the format. We ask each other questions alternatingly, as many as time permits, while giving as many clues as needed to help each other get to the answer. Let's get quizzing. Hi, Vineet here. My audio quality in this episode is pretty bad. Just one of the realities of recording in a hurry in a less than ideal location. Rather than nixing the whole episode, we decided to put it out there. We'll strive to do better and are working on it. So apologies again and hope you enjoy the show. Another episode is due. And as usual, before we start the episode and the questions that follow, there is the burning question that has existed in the hearts of all our listeners. Aditya, tell us, what kind of ghost is not turned away by a ghost line?
This one is a head scratcher, honestly, because you have to really think about it. The only ghost which would not be afraid of the spotlight would be a ghost which was used to the spotlight, and that would be an actor. So, for fans of Shah Rukh Khan, you remember Om Shanti Om, Deepika Padukone's character was an actress, Shanti Priya. So, Shanti Priya's ghost would not be afraid of a ghost light.
Kill me now.
In the second half of Om Shanti Om. Sorry, spoilers for those who haven't watched that. Great movie. Brilliant movie.
It is a great movie. I don't think that the makers would be very happy that you use the movie in such a context.
Yeah, I don't think they were going for such nuances, but that's fine. Okay. All right. Let's put that painful moment behind us and let's go on.
Extremely painful moment behind us. So I'll start off today's questions with a small connect. So I'm going to tell you the name of certain movies, and I need you to tell me what connect these movies.
Okay.
The Ghostwriter, Tenet, Drive, Layer Cake, The Road, Hero, and Kill Bill.
Interesting.
It's not an exhaustive list. There are others I can add to it to help you along if you want.
Okay, so I have no clue right off the bat. I'll just ask for a quick clue over here. Is there a human being? Is there somebody who connects them? One person who connects them?
No, I would say more of a something that's common to all of them, but it's not a human being.
It's not a single person that connects them.
It's not like one single person is connected to all these movies. It's more of something a little more general. If you want, I can give you one more addition to the list.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know. I think I know.
Okay.
You said Tenet and you said Drive. What other movies did you mention?
I mentioned The Ghostwriter.
Okay.
Layer Cake.
Okay.
The Road.
The Road. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. None of these movies have a named protagonist.
Yes, brilliant, correct. Yes. So, as Aditya mentioned, now all these movies have unnamed protagonists. Some other movies which would also fit, one which I purposely left out was Fight Club.
Fight Club, yeah.
Edward Norton's character is never mentioned by name. The Ghostwriter, Ewan McGregor's character is only ever referred to as the Ghost. In Tenet, is John David Washington's character is only referred to as the protagonist. Yes. In Fight Club, Brad Pitt's character is very famously named Tyler Durden, but Edward Norton's character is completely unnamed. In Drive, Ryan Gosling's character is only referred to as the driver. In The Road, Viggo Mortensen's character is only called Papa. Layer Cake, which is a very underrated movie from Daniel Craig's body of work. He plays an unnamed cocaine dealer / businessman.
That is one of the movies I've not watched. One of the movies I've not watched in the list is Kill Bill. Yes, of course. Actually, Kill Bill. She's Uma Thurman's character is never named. Is it that Kill Bill 2 we find out her name?
No, we don't find. We never find out her name, right? She's only the bride.
Okay,
I don't remember if she's We'll have to fact check that. But as I remember it, we don't get to know her name.
In
But
the first
anyway,
movie,
at least
definitely you don't.
yes,
Yeah,
the
first
first
movie
movie
you don't.
definitely we don't know her name. Yeah, we'll have to
Mm.
check. Other examples of such movies with unnamed protagonists include Zombieland, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, as
Right.
the man with no name,
Man with
and
no name,
Rebecca.
literally.
Yes, and Rebecca.
So I only got it because of Tenet and The Road, two movies which are
I
famously
had
Tenet.
actually initially I had put Fight Club in the list, and then I removed it at the last second because I thought, okay, I'll keep that as a clue rather than giving it away. Because Fight Club is famously
Interestingly, Fight Club, and of course, at no point is Edward Norton's character explicitly named, but I do believe that there were some theories about how he's Jack.
yeah, because they see his Jack's angry colon. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So there was some theory I remember reading online some point that he's actually Jack. He is himself named Jack. And of course, the other alternative is that he's named Tyler Durden. So,
so a fun fact: Chuck Palahniuk, the guy who actually wrote the novel,
hmm
he got the idea for the novel because he went on I think it was a camping trip or something, and he got into a fight with a couple of people. And the next day, when he went into work, he had like bruises on his face and he was all messed up. But nobody
hmm.
asked him, what happened to you
Aha,
or why have you walked in
nice,
like this? And then he realized that,
nice.
people were too afraid to ask, that he has a dark side. They were afraid that he has a dark side, which is the inspiration for Fight Club.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right, okay. Fascinating.
Yes, your turn.
This particular attire, this particular piece of clothing, is named after a country club in a park in New York because of the dress code that was enforced there. What am I talking about?
So it's a piece of attire that's named after a country club in a park in New York.
That's right.
Okay, first right off the bat, no idea what this is about. So is it safe to assume that the park we're talking about is Central Park? Does Central Park have country clubs there?
No, actually, the name of the park is the one that has inspired the attire's name. So the country club
Oh,
itself is not the one that has lent its name. The park is the one that has.
oh, is it a kind of headgear?
No, no, it's not.
I was just starting to think of different names. Because I was starting to think of different names of hats and caps and things like that.
Hmm. Yeah,
But
that would be
no,
a good
okay.
guess, but no.
And this is New York. Unfortunately, my knowledge of parks in New York are restricted to Central Park because that's what the thing you see on TV all the time.
Yes, yes, but no, it's not. It's actually a very simple etymology question. So you know it or you don't know it. But it's based on the dress code that was enforced at the country club, if that gives a hint.
So then it would have been so dress code. I would say black tie.
You're close,
So
you're
then
close.
coattails. No, is there a coattail part?
No,
No, no.
no, it's not a coattail part.
Bowler. No, that's a bowler hat, right? So there.
No, bowler hats.
Okay. Tuxedo.
Tuxedo Park is the one. That is it. Tuxedo
There is a
Park
park.
is
Okay,
in
there's a
New York.
tuxedo park.
And there's a famous country club there, and they had a dress code which mandated dinner jackets, which eventually gave its name to tuxedos as we know them today.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant question.
Yeah, so the story goes, and this is more of a legend of sort. This is more of a story that has been passed down verbally, perhaps. So it's not verified. But the idea is that one of the gentlemen, Griswold Laureat, I believe that's how it pronounced, Griswold Laureat, came up with the idea to wear short black jacket without tails. And then that became, and he was the son of the founder of that particular country club. So eventually that became a mandate for everybody to be wearing. It was a custom that everybody who came for dinner used to be wear that black jacket without tails. As this fashion spread, the name tuxedo spread with it. Literally, like the ones in tuxedo, like the ones worn in tuxedo. So that's how we get the word tuxedo. Yeah.
I never cease to be surprised by the origins of words. They're so diverse. Now, I'd be so interested to know where Tuxedo Park got its name.
Interesting, yeah. I would also have to search for that, but I don't know. Interestingly, also back then it was considered an informal jacket because it did not have tails, did not have coattails, it had a short tail. So when it was introduced, it was meant to be more of a casual dinner jacket, an informal dinner jacket, and now would be considered one of the most formal attires for men.
Yeah,
So,
fascinating.
fashion, yes.
Yes, fashion. Okay, let's move from fashion to food and drink.
Hmm.
Okay, this is used in Northern Europe and particularly Scandinavian cuisine to impart a sharp, clear flavor to gamey meat dishes, especially wild birds and game meats like boar and venison. Besides Norwegian, Danish, and Swedish dishes, it also sometimes used in German, Austrian, Czech, Polish, and Hungarian cuisine, often with roasts.
Okay.
The Romans used it as a cheap, domestically produced substitute for the expensive black pepper and long pepper, which were traded from India. So, going as far as to adulterate pepper with this thing,
Hmm.
you would probably know it and the flavor that it imparts from a distilled alcoholic drink to which it also lends its name. So let me just summarize that huge thing. It's something
Yes.
that's used to give a very clear, sharp flavor to certain kinds of meats
Hmm.
and gamey meat dishes. It's used in Norwegian, Danish, Swedish cuisine, sometimes in German, Austrian, Czech, Polish, and Hungarian cuisine. The
Okay.
Romans used to use it as a substitute to pepper, going so far as to sometimes adulterate pepper with it because pepper was so expensive and it had to come all the way from India. You would know this and probably even the flavor of this from an alcoholic drink to which it gave its name.
My first instinct was to say vinegar, but that seems to be on the wrong path. So, because it was used to adulterate pepper, so I can't imagine vinegar being used for that. Is it a type of spice?
Not a spice. I wouldn't say it's a kind of spice.
Hmm.
The thing is, there are very few clues I can give for this particular question without giving it away. But I will tell you that it's a kind of berry.
Kind of berry that is
Yes.
also used in some kind of alcohol, right? You said?
Yes. So it imparts its flavor to a certain type of distilled alcoholic drink. The name of the alcoholic drink is also derived from this ingredient.
Very, very random, but like gooseberry because Grey Goose, but again, that's a brand name.
No, no,
Not
no. And
really
that's vodka. Vodka is
and
traditionally
that is vodka.
potatoes. Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's potatoes. Yeah, I'm off that. It's a kind of berry. Wow, I have no idea. I have absolutely
Okay,
no
let me put
idea.
this to you as well. If you're a cocktail drinker, you definitely know this alcoholic beverage because it's an ingredient in many alcoholic cocktails. In many cocktails.
The only cocktail I drink is a very fruity rum once in a while. So I would be the
Like a
worst
rum
person for
punch.
this.
Call back.
Ah,
Call
rum
back.
punch would be great. Yes. Back to our first or second episode, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, berry, cognac. No. What berries are there? Let me see. Blackberry, blueberry, gooseberry, raspberry.
I said it's a type of
Or is
berry.
it
I
one of
didn't
those
say that.
trick questions where banana is a berry, so you're talking about one of those berries
See,
that are not really
technically,
berry?
it's okay. Let me just classify this. It's got the name berry
Hmm.
in it, but it's
Okay,
not a
great.
true
Thank God.
berry.
One of the berries which are called
I'll give
berries
you
but
a
are
clue.
not true
It's
berries.
actually a kind of seed cone.
Strawberry. I don't know. I'm out. I have no ideas.
Okay, now I'm going to make
Um.
you tell this. Okay, I'll give you the name of a cocktail where this is
Uh,
the predominant ingredient. Hopefully, the
okay.
fact is my knowledge of cocktails is not so that great. So, but this is one I know. So, a
Hmm.
Tom Collins. This would be one of the primary alcoholic ingredients in a Tom Collins.
Vineet, I don't know how else to tell you this that I barely ever drink alcohol, and right now I'm regretting this life choice.
Okay, so
I
then
wish I was
okay,
more
this
of an
would be.
alcoholic.
Let me put this way: This was also the okay. This was considered the bane of alcoholics in Victorian England. So this is the bane of alcoholics in Victorian England, and this was also a very popular cocktail amongst colonial Englishmen.
Oh my God.
Okay, and you would use
Berry.
tonic
Okay.
water as the mixer.
I was just gonna say, is it a gin?
Yes. Okay, so if it's gin,
Okay.
what ingredient am I talking about?
Juniper berries. Juniper berries. I
Yes,
know
yes,
that. I
yes,
know that.
yes.
Juniper berries. Yes. Okay.
So,
Wow. Damn, that was quite the journey we took.
so
Okay. Tell
the
me more.
name gin is a shortened form of the older English word Genever, which is related to the French Genève and the Dutch word Genever, all ultimately derived from juniperus, which is the Latin for juniper. Hence, juniper berries give you gin.
That is a lovely piece of trivia. You know what? I was probably not going to use this today, but
Okay.
since you've brought this up, I'm going to throw this trivia out as our next question. So, in 1066, in the year 1066, the Battle of Hastings was fought. I'm not sure how much you know about the English history back then, but the Norman French army won.
William the Conqueror, 1066 AD.
Oh, wonderful! So you do know what I'm talking about. Yes, famous battle, and the Normans won, and the eventual conquest of England led to a very specific quirk in language. A very specific quirk in language. You're smiling, so I'm assuming you know the answer.
Okay,
So
so
I'll leave it just at that. Yeah.
okay,
What am
so
I
I'm
talking
going to try a shot in the dark. If it's right, I'm going to flex.
about? Okay.
If it's
Okay.
not, okay. But chalo, it's led to the practice of certain things having both a French and an English version. So you have the animal, which is a cow, but the meat is called beef because it's bœuf in French.
Right. You're absolutely right. Wow, that was.
Oh, yes.
I thought I had to give a few more clues, but you got it
No,
absolutely
no, no.
right.
I
Yes,
knew this one.
because
This one I knew. Yes.
we were talking about food, and so this was a wonderful piece of trivia that I read a while back. So the thing is, it's not established if it is the only reason why meats and the animals that they come from in English have different names, but it is one of the leading theories. Let me explain. So cows would be the animal, but the royalty or the people who were in power, which were the Normans who spoke French, they would refer it to the English word by the French word, my bad, by the French word boeuf, and which gave us the name beef. And same thing for pig versus pork, and a few other examples, mutton as well. So all of these things came from Old English. Would be the Old English word became the animal name, and the French word became the meat name, which is also another way of people differentiating between kind of being able to remove themselves from the fact that they're eating an animal, is what I've heard was a reason that the nobility did not want to be using the same words that the commoners were using to refer to their animals. Interestingly, one of the things which does not follow this rule is fish, and the
Huh.
reason is because in French it is poisson, if I'm not wrong,
Poisson.
Poisson,
Yeah,
poisson,
poisson. Yeah.
and the Old English of poison would be close to that, so they perhaps did not use the French word for fish when they refer to the meat, and the meat is also still referred to as fish. But for the rest, yes, it does make that little quirk in our language today, in English language today.
Yeah, and in those days, French was considered to be the more refined, cultured language, and English was supposed to be vulgar
Especially
and
for
coarse.
food. Yeah,
Yeah,
and especially for food, the French have always dominated the culinary world. So,
at least in Europe. I defy them to do
of
that here
course.
in Asia, obviously.
So that is my question, and on to you now.
Okay, so this is a very simple one, simple question. Anand Mehta is a renowned Gujarati industrialist and seven-time national bridge champion. His wife, Annabel Mehta, is a British philanthropist. Their daughter, born in 1967, a pediatrician by education and trade, is a well known personality, mostly because of her married last name. Who's their daughter?
Wow, what? um, that is Anand Mehta is a bridge champion.
Yes, yes. So he's an industrialist and sometime Brit champion. I'm not sure of the exact time frame, but he was a Brit champion, and his wife was a who's also a philanthropist, and their daughter is very well known in India, but because of her last name, not because she's a pediatrician or anything. She's known because of her last name, married last name.
She's known because of her married last name. Uh, I can assume she married into the Gandhi family. I don't know who
Not
was.
the Gandhi family, but you're close. She married obviously somebody really, really, really famous.
Ambani's one of the Ambani's. Wow, this is such a. Or is there some other hint that I'm missing? Any other hint that I
Uh,
can get?
yeah. So there's a very famous fact that she's older than her husband, which is rare in India.
Oh, 10 years older, is it? That's what the number I remember. Are we talking about what's her name? Wait. I'm gonna get this. Sachin's wife is named Anjali.
Yes,
Is
it
that
is
the name?
Anjali Tendulkar.
Yes. Right. Okay. Anjali Tendulkar is the daughter of Annabelle and Anand Mehta.
Annabelle and Anand Mehta.
Oh, cute.
And I
Okay.
was fascinated to know that her father was a bridge champion. Like in India,
Bridge champion.
currently
Yeah.
at least, bridge is not a sport that's popular in any measure. But he was a champion, and the fact that he's a successful industrialist now, and his daughter is also famous, but famous for a completely different reason.
Annabelle, Anand, Anjali. That's cute. Yeah. It's a little alliteration situation going on. Okay, lovely. All right. How familiar are you with the tech world, Vineet?
Not very, but I can
Okay, so this is
try.
this is something that you might have encountered. HTTP, which is the protocol which pretty much governs all of internet, has a few specific error codes that are given, right? One of the most famous ones is like 404 not found,
Yes.
right? Okay, so this error code is for unavailable for legal reasons.
Okay.
What is the error code?
Unavailable for legal reasons.
Yes.
Unavailable for legal reasons. So it will be something similar. Wait, it's not 420, is it? 420.
No, it's not 420. No, it's not
That's the number that
420.
comes to mind whenever somebody asks me.
Yes.
Okay, no, so it's unavailable for legal reasons. So it has to
Hmm.
be a number which is related to the judiciary in some way, shape, or form.
It is a pop culture reference, is how I would phrase
It's a
it.
pop culture reference.
Yeah, which is what makes it so interesting and a lovely piece of trivia.
Unavailable due to legal reasons. Something to do with a song?
No, not a song.
Oh, you'll have to give me a clue here.
Okay, no worries. This number is also associated with this urban legend of a phone call to the local fire department. And that's how this number became famous. This is such a vague clue, but giving more than this would make
Local
it too
fire
obvious.
department. Like there are, okay, now see, but those like differ from country to country, right? In the US, it's 911. In the UK
Yes,
and the Middle East, it's 999.
yes.
Is it
So
911 or 999?
it is not the number that is used to call them, but
Okay.
the number came about because of a phone call to the fire department. The number came about because of a phone call to the fire department, to the local fire department.
No, you'll have to give me something more.
Okay, so this pop culture item is dated to 1953.
1953.
It's not a song.
Okay, it's 451.
It is Fahrenheit 451. You
Fire.
got that bang on. Lovely, lovely,
Oh
lovely.
yes, yes, unavailable due to legal reasons because it's banned.
Unavailable for legal
Fahrenheit
reasons because
45.
it is banned.
Yes.
So error code 451 is unavailable for legal reasons. And the reason I mentioned the fire department call is because when the author he wanted to figure out Ray Bradbury, right? Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah, Ray
Ray
Bradbury. Yeah, Ray
Bradbury
Bradbury.
wanted to name his book based on the temperature Fahrenheit at which paper burns. So he called up the local fire department to ask them that, and somebody just told him it's 451, which might not be the most accurate answer because it's a range, but it was the closest answer that he got. And that's how the name of the novel also came, Fahrenheit 451.
Phenomenal, phenomenal. But I think Tim Berners-Lee had mentioned that most of these codes were given at random, right? They were not. Was there any logic to it?
The 451 was specifically given as an homage, yeah. But most of the other ones were not.
I am going to counter that with a question from India. This was invented by M.B. Hanifa in the early 80s. The current form of this was designed by two professors at IIT Bombay, A.G. Rao and Ravi Puvaya. It is powered by an ordinary 6-volt alkaline battery manufactured by Bharat Electronics Limited, Bangalore, and the Electronics Corporation of India Limited, Hyderabad. Other countries like Nepal, Bhutan, Namibia, and Kenya have purchased these from us for use in their own country. It was first used in a limited fashion in 1982 in North Parur, Ernakulam, Kerala. It has been brought into use pan India between 1998 and 2001. What am I talking about?
Are these EVMs?
Brilliant crack. Tell me, I mean, you really have to tell me how you got that. I made this question as vague as possible.
No, the only reason I know this is because of Kerala. I know that's the first place that they tried out EVMs, and the years and stuff gave me a small clue. So yeah, that's why EVMs.
And also, personal connect here. My mom's hometown is North Parur, where this.
Ah, okay.
That's how I came to know about this trivia because I used to hear people there saying, we were using this from the 80s." It was used in one
Wow.
election, but
Okay.
they claim that it was used for the first time in India in Parur. It led to a court case and all. So what happened was the early version was used in limited numbers in a by-election in North Parur in 1982. However, the Supreme Court struck down the results because sections 59 to 61 of the Representation of People's Act in 1951 specified paper ballots.
Interesting.
So, because of that, you were not allowed to use an electronic voting machine. The Parliament of India amended the Representation of People's Act in December 1988.
Okay.
And then Section 61 of the amended law empowered the Election Commission to deploy voting machines instead of paper ballots. The amended law became effective from March 15th, 1989. They modified the original version to the version that we know now. After extensive testing, it was used from 1998 onwards. I really thought I would have to give you more clues for that one.
No, that was a great question. Which countries did you mention import this from us?
Yeah, so Nepal, Bhutan, Namibia, and Kenya.
Cool. That was a great question. Okay, let me move on to mine. In the year 1125, a bishop in Paris threatened to excommunicate any priest caught doing this particular activity. But one of them, who was a massive enthusiast, devised a secretive way to continue doing it. What am I? Oh my god, you're laughing so much. Vinny, do you already know the answer? I'm trying to be
No,
so
no, no.
vague.
I just have a very rude
I'm
answer
gonna.
because I'm not sure if I should say it on the podcast.
He excommunicated people for swearing. No, it wasn't that. No.
No, it's not. It's not swearing I was thinking of.
Oh, I see. No, I can guess what you were thinking of, but no, that's not what you're thinking. It is definitely not
Okay.
what you're thinking.
Okay.
There was an enthusiast of this particular activity, And
When he's a massive enthusiast, I just couldn't stop.
yes, no, it is not.
Okay, it's not
I
what
don't
I
know if you're
think, right?
thinking the
It's not
same
what I
thing. Because that just reminds me of that Seinfeld episode where they kept talking about master of my domain,
think.
and which was one of the funniest euphemisms I've ever heard. Okay, anybody who's
Okay.
interested can go Google that.
Yeah.
No, but that's not what we're talking about.
Okay.
So one of the enthusiasts found a secretive way of continuing to do so. What am I talking about?
So this was a he threatened to excommunicate monks who would do this going forward.
Yes, yes.
Has this got something to do with illuminated manuscripts writing?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. Interestingly enough, it does have something very vaguely to do with books,
Okay.
but do not go down that path because that might confuse
Yeah, no,
you.
because
I'll
the,
tell you
the,
why
the
later.
first thought the first thought that had come to mind was the
Mm.
fact that in the old days monks were the educated part of
Mm-hmm.
the population, and so
Mm-hmm.
they're the
Mm-hmm.
ones who like manually painstakingly copied texts to create
Right.
various copies of it. So I was thinking maybe of somebody's putting in a rude kind of pornographic picture somewhere on the corner or something like that, or not,
Oh no, 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 not in this case. No.
not in this case. Guessing it's going to be something very silly.
Oh no, it's not. It's not. I mean, it isn't considered a silly, frivolous activity. It is a pastime, yes, but I wouldn't call it silly. Is not the word that I would use to describe it.
Drinking wine,
No, no, not drinking wine.
and he found a secretive way of doing it, is what you said, right?
Yeah. And that way has become very popular till date. It is still used, even though there's no need for it to be secretive anymore. It is still commonplace.
This is 11:25, you said, right?
11:25. Yes,
So then tobacco hasn't reached the old world from the new world yet, so it's not smoking.
not yet. No,
Is it something you would consider a vice?
not even at all. Today, in fact, parents might even be happy if their children were doing this.
Wait, study or learn?
Almost considered an intellectual exercise. No, not study or learn. No, the origins of this activity lie in India.
Chess?
Chess is the right answer. But what am I talking about? What is the secretive method
Checkers?
that? Oh no. So I'll tell you what it is. So chess is a brilliant, brilliant answer. Chess was condemned widely in the at the turn of the millennium. So many, many different kings and priests and religions were condemning chess, as it is with most new things. And he threatened to this bishop in Paris, threatened to excommunicate any priest caught playing chess. One such enthusiast devised a secretive way, and that was a folding board. So the folding board was devised by this guy because it looked like two books lying together, and
Ah,
that way they
okay, the
didn't have to
travel
have an
version that
open
we've used now.
chessboard. Yeah, so now we use it as a travel version, but it first came about to just hide it from the bishop that they were actually playing chess, to hide their chessboards.
Oh, that's a beautiful question.
Yeah,
Oh,
I love this.
I'm using that. I'm using that.
Please do, please do.
Okay. So the last question for today from me. This is a fairly easy answer because it's become a point of you know discussion nowadays.
Okay.
Rai Bareli
Mm.
has traditionally been an Indian National Congress bastion, having elected MPs from the INC, Indian National Congress, except for a total of 5 years in the past 75. The current MP from Rai Bareli is Sonia Gandhi, who's held the parliamentary seat from 2004 till date. My question is, who was the first member of the Nehru Gandhi family to contest and win an election from Rai Bareli in 1952?
In 1952.
Yes.
Oh, in 1952. Oh, from the Nehru Gandhi family.
Yes.
I don't know. The obvious answer seems to be Jawaharlal Nehru, but I would imagine that's not the case. Okay. Was Indira already running for elections in 52?
No.
Indira Gandhi also? No. Okay, I'm guessing there's some fun, meaty trivia here which I'm missing out on. So I'd love a hint.
Okay. How do I put this? You could say that this person is the originator of the Nehru Gandhi family.
The originator of Nehru Gandhi. Motilal? Oh, okay. Uh, Firoz Gandhi?
Yes, it is Feroz Gandhi.
Okay, that's why the originator of the Nehru Gandhi
Nehru
family. Okay,
Gandhi family, not the Nehru family, not
yeah.
the Gandhi family. So this
The-
has been circulating in social media also right now. That
okay.
Feroz Gandhi or Feroz Jahangir Gandhi, which was
Hmm.
actually written as Ghandy. It was Gandhi,
Yeah.
not Gandhi.
Yeah.
Uh, and he was from actually Feroz Jahangir Gandhi was a Parsi.
Yes.
Okay? And he changed his name to Gandhi after joining the independence movement. So he changed it from
Mm.
Gandhi, as in Ghandy, to Gandhi, which is the same surname
Mm.
as Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi.
Mhm.
So he can be called the originator of the Nehru Gandhi family because
Right.
technically they have no other connection to the surname Gandhi. After
Right.
independence, Feroz and Indira Gandhi settled in Allahabad, and Feroz became the managing director of the National Herald. After being a member of parliament in provincial parliament, he won independent India's first general elections in 1952 from Raebareli. Do you by any chance know the only non-Congress person to hold the MP seat from Raebareli? It's a little difficult. It's like one of those things you either know it or you. It's a test of
Yeah, I
memory.
probably won't know it. But which year? Which year?
And 96, 98.
96, 98. No, I doubt my political consciousness was active from then.
So it was Ashok Singh from the BJP.
Ah, okay. Yes, 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 yes. I think I might have heard of this. Yeah, I should say.
I put this
Nice,
question in
nice.
because there are a lot of discussion now because, especially related to this whole Adani thing that's going on. Because
Mm-hmm.
Feroz Gandhi was a very prominent force in his own right, and he was
Okay.
critical of his father-in-law's government.
Ah, okay.
He began a fight against corruption, exposed many financial irregularities and scams. At
Wow.
one point,
Interesting.
he had even suggested that telco be
Hmm.
nationalized,
Okay.
and that caused a
Interesting.
huge, problem because the reason he suggested that was because they were charging nearly double the price of a Japanese railway engine. The Tata Engineering and Locomotive Company, also known as Telco, they were charging almost double the price that the Japanese were charging. So he had suggested that Telco should be nationalized because they were charging so much. But that caused a huge problem in the Parsi community because Tatas were also Parsi. This fellow is also Parsi. But as I said, because this Adani issue has come up recently because the Hindenburg report, the a lot of people have now brought up the fact that he had exposed a lot of financial scams in his first tenure, even though he was the son-in-law of the Prime Minister of India at that time. I thought it was a topical
Interesting.
question.
Very interesting. I love that. I love that. Last question of the episode, I believe.
Yes.
Let's keep this a short one. Which is the highest court in the land in United States of America?
Okay, I'm guessing this is. So I'm going to tell you right now that because I can see that smirk, you people can't, but I can see the smirk on his face. Yes, that it is obviously not the Supreme Court of the United States. I'm going to
Ah,
guess. I'm going to guess it's when you say highest court, that it's a court at some high elevation somewhere.
it's a interesting guess, yes, but it's almost there in a way. Yes, you're getting there. You're getting there. I can give you more hints if you need it.
Oh, is it the one in Alaska because it's so high up in the latitudes or something?
No, no, no. So I'm not. This isn't wordplay as such. I mean, technically it is wordplay, but it's not something that I've come up with. It is It's a weird nomenclature thing. It is a physical highest court, and it is located in Washington D.C.
Wait, is this a special narcotics court or something where they only deal with marijuana, heroin cases or something like that? No,
No, no, no, no.
because I was going for that definition of high.
Oh boy, that would be a brilliant answer, but no, unfortunately. I wish that was the actual answer. No, it's not. Okay, so this is actually very much located proximal to the Supreme Court building in Washington D.C.
Okay, it's proximal to the building in Washington. No, I have no clue.
Okay. This court is not open to the public, but if you listen closely enough, if you are attending the Supreme Court proceedings, you would probably hear the highest court being used sometimes. I'm being very
No, no, I like
very
these kind of questions. It's extremely
withholding on
satisfying if you are
information.
able to crack it, but if you aren't, it
Yes.
just frustrates you beyond belief. Okay, highest court. Uh, no, man, you'll have to put me out of my misery. I'm just not getting it.
Okay, so the U.S. Supreme Court is located on the fourth floor. This particular court sits on the fifth floor, and that's why it's the
Are you
highest
kidding
court.
me?
Just because, but it's not a court as in a judicial court. It's a
Is it a tennis
basketball
court?
court. It's a basketball
It's a
court in the
basketball
U.S.
court.
Supreme. Yes, in the U.S. Supreme Court building, and
Oh my
it's
god.
colloquially known as the highest court in the land because it literally sits above the Supreme Court in the US.
Okay, you really got me with that one. That was a good one.
Okay, yeah, that's my question. Short and
That's your
simple.
question. So, Aditya, you know what's next, right? You know what you
Oh
have to do.
God, I should prepare these beforehand because every time you and I know how much
No,
I
no,
struggle
it's a lot more fun to watch you
to
suffer
come up.
when you have to come up with these things on the spot. So please.
Okay, all right. I think you already gave the best joke so far, though, with the highest score being one to do with drugs. It's hilarious. What garment is named after a park in India? I don't know why I do this.
Okay, just for the sake of the audience, do you actually have an answer for this or you're
I
going to make
have
it
no
up?
answer. No, I don't know. I'm going to make it up. You know how much I struggle before every episode. I'm just randomly just trying to figure out this. I put in more effort into this than into the actual questions I ask because this isn't even a real thing. I have to make it up. Okay,
Okay,
no, but I'll figure something out. Yes,
yes, okay.
some garment
So,
named after an Indian park.
okay, so that's all for this episode. Thank you all for listening in and, listening to Aditya torture himself. We hope you enjoyed the show and learned something new. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe to our podcast, leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. It takes only a few seconds and it helps a lot more people, discover the show. We'd also love to hear from you, feedback, suggestions, and even trivia. You can reach us on Instagram at RUQuizingMe. We appreciate your support and look forward to sharing more episodes with you in the future. Thanks again for tuning in.
Thank you, guys. Bye bye.
And bye from us. And before you go, Aditya will be back after the musical sting with the fact check. So stay tuned.
All right.
And here's the fact check for the episode. The protagonist of Kill Bill, the bride, has her name revealed in the sequel. It is Beatrix. The club in Tuxedo Park is also called Tuxedo Club itself. The park is a gated village in the town of Tuxedo. The town gets its name from the largest lake in the area, Tuxedo Lake. The lake in Lenni Lenape, a Native American language, is called Tuxedo, which means either clear flowing water or place of the bear. Anjali Tendulkar is around 6 years older than Sachin and not 10. Two non-Congress members have occupied the Lok Sabha seat, Ashok Singh and Raj Narayan. Raj Narayan defeated Indira Gandhi in the elections right after the emergency was lifted. He was from the Janata Party. And that's all for the fact check.